Most of the time when you run an A/B test, especially when it's a major change on your website, the behavior of returning visitors versus the behavior of new visitors is going to be different. And this is very interesting because the whole idea of running an experiment is to find a better, more user-friendly approach that makes us more money. I've introduced something. My new visitors love it, absolutely love it. However, my returning visitors hate it, and the conversion rate drops for those visitors. Why does that happen? Because humans are creatures of habit. We love things that we're used to, even if they're horrible. And you see that all the time. Think about the new update that Apple did to the iPhone in a few months now, where they've changed the bar, the search bar in Safari on the iPhone from the top section to the bottom section. Everybody complained about that. But if you think about it from a usability perspective, having the bar at the bottom is much better for many reasons. If you're typing, if you're something, the bar doesn't hide. At the bottom is actually a better location. Usability studies show that the location at the bottom is better. But guess what? We as humans are used to having the search bar on top of the browser. That's how we're used to it. That's how we've been programmed, and we're complaining. That's the reason whenever you're running an experimentation program, if you have the traffic, run your experiments on new visitors. Those are brand new visitors. They're not used to your website and its mistakes, horrible usability issues in it, and see how they react, knowing that there's a good chance that your returning visitors are not going to like this. It's going to take your returning visitors a while to get used to the new design. That's just a fact of life. That's the reason it's also important to look at the breakdown of your new visitors versus returning visitors whenever you're doing a major overhaul to your website. The higher the percentage of your returning visitors, the more risky your overhaul is. And you know that there's going to be a drop in conversion rates after you release that overhaul. Why is that? Because again, we as humans, we like the old design. We got used to it. We don't like your new design that is just more user-friendly. Walk into experimentation, walk into new designs, being fully aware of this issue, so you're not surprised. But the last thing you want to do, and I've seen some companies do that, and I'm like, okay, this is absolutely horrible. And I'll give you an example from Zoom that we're using today. They just released a new interface for the admin side of Zoom. And I keep on logging into Zoom, and they prompt me every time. It's like, oh, you want to see the new things? So today, because I logged in early, I'm like, oh, let me show me all the new things. So here's how we organize this, how we organize that. And the admin has this feature and that feature, 5 features. And then they asked me the question that I knew was going to come. Would you like to switch to the new interface? And guess what I answered? I'm like, nope, want to stick with the old interface. Because just the thought of having to think through the new interface and finding things, and I just barely got used to the new interface because I never liked it and it was not intuitive. Oh, I have now to get used to a new interface. I'm like, no, I'm sticking with the old horrible interface because you got me used to it. That's just the reality of dealing with humans, and that's really what makes experimentation even interesting.